I always thought I wanted to farm, and something that really interested me about farming was the ability to direct your own path. If you start into something with an end in mind, there's a better chance that you'll get to the end that you want. My name's John Ligo. I'm in Mercer County, Pennsylvania. That's the northwest section of Pennsylvania, about 25 miles from Ohio. We have what you call a general farm. It's been a dairy farm in the past, and now it's a beef farm. We have several hundred acres of cropland. We grow corn and beans and hay, and livestock's an integral part of what we do here. I farm as a means to a life, and not giving my life to a means. And that's allowed me to take the long vision and make some plans. It's a way to manage assets and manage your time based on where you want to end up. But you have to have that roadmap of where you're going so that you can see, do I want to make this turn to the right? Do I want to make this turn to the left? You will come to crossroads and wonder which way to go. And without a plan, it's very, very hard. You run the risk of doing it on a short-term emotion or the whims of somebody that's trying to sell you something. Probably the things you can't control most are, one, your health, two, commodity prices, and number three, the weather. But as far as your financial structure, the people you hire, the people you work with, how you work, those are controllables, especially over the long term. There are other catastrophic things like hail or tornadoes or things like that, and that risk can be mitigated too with the use of crop insurance. Crop insurance, the input cost is depending on what crop and what you're doing, is $15 to $25 an acre, and that compares to seed. Almost any seed is $100 an acre. It's probably 1/2 of what you would use for pesticides on an acre, but it does mitigate the risk in that it will cover, depending on what you decide to do, 60 to 70 to 80 to 85% of the expected value of your crop at the expected price. You must have a conservation plan on all of the land that you farm and have control over, and you must follow that conservation plan, which means certain crop rotations on certain slopes, certain limited amount of tillage. You must report what crops you plant, and you must report the yields on those crops. The voters of the United States sign on to that. We will pay our tax money toward conservation of the land. We will have that little bit of finger of control, the 99% of us that don't farm, over the 1% of you who actually control 90% of the land. It's not a direct relationship, but I like to think of it as a social contract with the rest of the people. They will mitigate my risk, and in return, I will do my best to take care of the environment that we all have to live in. As I say, we got into dairy farming as a means to an end, and we bought 5 small stall barn herds from around the country, and some of them were a mishmash of cows and the different types of cows, and we bred with a plan in mind, and they started to coalesce into a type of cow that we liked. Instead of selling all the dairy and paying taxes on it, we integrated that with building the beef herd, so we never had a total tax bill on those. I can't express enough my appreciation of what cows have done for me. We didn't do it for cows, but there's no doubt cows did it for us.